I'm talking to Danny Iny, and he is the co-host of Course Lab. Danny, as an expert in online courses, what is your unique value that you offer?
I think perspective. There are a lot of people who teach in the world of online courses, and their claim to fame is that they've done it once. I've been building online courses very successfully for over a decade. I've taught literally thousands of people in almost as many different niches and industries. And so I have a broad perspective on what actually works, and not just what worked one time for one person at some point in the past, but what works across the board and what works today and going into the future.
So as co-host of Course Lab, tell me some of the highlights of what people might hear when they come to your podcast.
Well, with every episode of Course Lab, we feature a course and creator who is doing something really interesting with their course, either with the architecture of the course in terms of how it works, how it's built, how it delivers transformation, or the business model behind it, what makes it successful, profitable, and a powerful driver for their business, or both.
Transforming your business through online coursework is the way to go. Course Lab is the show to listen to. Danny, thanks for sharing your inspiration with our community today.
Thanks for having me.
You can get Course Lab wherever you get your podcasts. Tune in today.
They actually have a plan for today's Nice Guys on Business podcast. You don't want to miss it.
The book I thought would fail, it didn't. And now I teach and I coach and I train all over the planet, getting entrepreneurs basically out of their own headspace. 99% of the problems you have are created by your head.
You may have seen a housefly or maybe even a superfly, but you've never seen the Nice Guys on Business fly. Running a business is hard. Being a business leader is even harder. The Nice Guys bring in top industry pros to help your business prosper in a tough world. Get real advice from real people to get you real results today. Now it's time for the Nice Guys on Business. Here's your hosts, Doug Sandler and Strickland Bonner.
Nice Guy community. So as an expert in getting shit done, Steve Sims, also known as the real-life Wizard of Oz, is doing just that, which is no small feat. From organizing a private dinner in front of Michelangelo's David to securing a tour of SpaceX led by Elon Musk. I'm not sure that included a free ride in the Tesla also with Elon, but we'll talk about that. His accomplishments always start with the same questions. How far can I take this? Maybe how stupid can I do? Let's take the limits and completely crash those today. I'm excited to have him back. He was on, we were just discussing this over 4 years ago on episode 607. Steve Sims, welcome back to the Nice Guys on Business podcast.
It's a pleasure to be here. And as we were saying earlier, we just can't believe it's been 4.5 years. But thanks for remembering me and having me back.
So your hairline has stayed exactly there, and mine is getting closer to yours over the last 4 years. I've lost a little. For those of you in our community, I'm doing this on video. You can't see this, but he has a very nice, completely clean head with a good gray beard, and my hair is starting to migrate closer down to my chin now as well, Steve.
Yeah, no, look, it happens to us all.
So tell me a little bit about Go for Stupid. Now, this sounds like it's an interesting title. You know, from my understanding on what you have done and what you've accomplished last time, you do go for stupid. Where is the limit on what you can actually do for your clients? And maybe start with that. What do you do for your clients and what is the limit?
That's I love the way you've twisted that, actually, because that's so beautiful. So what do I do for my clients? What I did and what I do has kind of changed and evolved over the years. But for 25 plus years, I was the Mr. Fix-It. I was the go-to guy. In fact, I've been reported as the most connected guy on the planet that nobody's ever heard of. I was the guy that, as you just said, was asked to get a couple married in the Vatican by the Pope. Get a drum lesson by Guns N' Roses, go and see the Titanic. If you could afford it, then Steve Sims was going to make it happen. But here was the thing you need to understand. I never wanted to do that. My business, I always classed as a Trojan horse. I wanted to be sitting in a room with Bill Gates, Elon Musk, Richard Branson, Elton John. And in order to do that, I had to do these miracle kind of things to get the attention. So I was focused on the conversation, not on the actual event itself. Then 5 years ago, my book, Bluefishing, came out, which I didn't think would do any good. I just wanted to write it. I was aggravated. A lot of people move with aggravation. And I brought the book out because I thought, look, everyone must be doing this. But for those few in the planet that are not, this is how you can do it. Because people think, oh, I could never do that. Oh, that's impossible. Oh, I could never achieve that. Oh, that's good. He must be connected. His dad must be the king of something. And I had none of that. I was a poor-ass bricklayer from East London that just now happens to be able to communicate with the Vatican and Elton John. You're already out of excuses. The book I thought would fail, it didn't. And now I teach and I coach and I train all over the planet, getting entrepreneurs basically out of their own headspace. 99% of the problems you have are created by your head.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm there to kind of go, no, that's not the way. Now, go back in time to answer the question about that statement, go for stupid. How many times do you hear people say, hey, I'm going to go for the impossible, or I'm going to make the impossible possible, or impossible stands for I'm possible? Bullshit. The second you say that word, you've given it fuel. It's almost the Voldemort of entrepreneurs. Don't even bring it up. Because if you say, hey, I'm going to go for the impossible, you're giving yourself that get out, aren't you?
Yeah.
Well, look, I said it was impossible, but hey, I gave it a crack. But what if it doesn't exist? So when we used to get a request, people would come over to us and they go, hey, I want front row tickets to the rock band Journey. We would literally sit down in our office, and our office was in Palm Beach at the time. We're in LA now. And we would go, okay, they want to go front stage to the rock band Journey. How can we make this request stupid? What's the dumbest idea we could come up with? What could we conceive that is so ridiculous people would laugh at us?
I got it. I don't not only want front row, but I actually want to be on the stage with Journey.
And so we did it. Our client is now the shortest term lead singer of the rock band Journey, and he sang with them down in San Diego. So it was always a case of never give a client what they ask for. In fact, here's your first tidbit for all of you listeners out there.
Yeah.
Never give a client what they're asking for. That's called a transaction, and that's what Amazon does very, very well. If you want to stay in business, communicate, converse, and challenge what the client is asking you. You're a baker. Guy comes in, says, hey, I want a red cake. Red cake's brilliant. Red cake's a beautiful thing. But why red? And the guy look at you and go, well, I want a red cake. Yeah, I know you do. You've said that. But why did you want a red cake? I'm just curious. What is it? Well, I'm doing it for my dad, and it's his birthday, and he loves Ferrari. Great. Then should we do a red cake with maybe like the yellow emblem on the top? Or what about if we get some little cars? That's great. Go above and beyond what's ever asked. And you can challenge people. And that's where the concept came from. Now, fast forward, and I'm coaching and training people on how to scale their business, how do they do marketing and media, how to speak on stage, anything that's the problem of an entrepreneur. And the first thing that we do is we have that moonshot concept. What's the stupid goal here? Hey, I've never spoken on stage, but hey, I want to speak on stage with Tony Robbins. Hey, I've never launched a business before, but I want to scale it and sell it for $50 million. What's the stupid goal? And I remember walking through, and you brought it up, walking through SpaceX with Elon Musk. And at the time, this was pre-NASA. And NASA literally had a team that would rebuff and humiliate anything he posted on Twitter. And one of my clients actually said to him, hey, how do you feel the fact that NASA is openly ridiculing you for whatever you do within space? And he turned around and he said, you know something? They'll always laugh at you just before they applaud. That was it. And so that's where the whole go for stupid. So when the book came out, or when the concept of the book came out, there wasn't even a heartbeat of what the book could be called. And we'll obviously go into, what was the catalyst behind the book, I'm sure. But There was no other way. This book had to be called Go for Stupid, The Art of Achieving Ridiculous Goals. It was set in stone before a book was even conceived.
So tell me a little bit about the revision or the shift or the change in trajectory to your business model, which maybe still is to a certain degree, but it sounds like there's a different passion that you have. It's not to even get in the meeting where Elton John is there. You're now talking about not achieving the impossible, which is getting people in front of their lifelong dreams, their bucket list items. But now you're making the shift to, I want to teach entrepreneurs how to actually achieve their goals and reach their goals. Is it because there's far more entrepreneurs than there are people that can afford to get in front of Elton John, or is it something else?
I believe as entrepreneurs, we're always aggravated. Okay. And I believe it's that aggravation that actually propels us to do things. You know, Elon Musk couldn't understand why it took 5 days to transfer money from one US account to another US account. So we built PayPal. You know, as entrepreneurs, we solve our problems, then find someone else who's got the same problem and sell them the solution. That's business 101. For me, I was always selling cocktail stories. In fact, my gag was that, hey, what do? I make your cocktail stories more interesting. That was always my one-liner to billionaires. And now I've gone from spending billionaires' money to fulfilling their fantasies in order to have a conversation to working with entrepreneurs to help them fulfill their fantasies. And so the challenge has changed, but I found that while I was looking after this client and spending this money and having that conversation, if I can help an entrepreneur dominate their space, disrupt their industry, then it's no longer just them that's benefiting. It's their team, their staff, their family, their team's family, their family's family. It's a much greater win for me in order to help them overcome what they thought was possible.
The answer may be in the question that I'm about to ask you, but talk to me about the positive side of overachieving the goals that your client has even set for themselves. Now, it may seem obvious to those that are out there. Of course, you're just going to help them achieve more than what they've even expected. But tell me what the long-term gain is for an entrepreneur that actually does that with their clients.
I think you've just answered it with the final word of the question. Clients. Customer, client, transaction, loyalty. So the point is that in today's world, getting a client is tough, isn't it? You've got to beat out the noise. You've got to be better than the provider. Now, hey, when I was a concierge and I was doing the stuff I was doing, there was no other competitor. So that was a very beautiful place. But when we opened up Sims.media, when we started coaching, hey, I'm in a sea of noise of everyone that thinks that they can do it better than me. And in some cases can, but I do things differently. So who's the client I need to reach? Getting the client is one thing. Losing a client is terrible. So what have you got to do to retain the client? You've got to breed loyalty, and loyalty doesn't come with a rewards program. You know, that's called bribery. Oh, stay with me. Second year, I'll give you a 20% discount. No, the goal is to keep them the second year and increase their fee by 20% because you're giving them 80% more value. So the whole point of actually going above and beyond what's requested takes you out of the challenge of payment equation. You see, if you are ever having a conversation with a client over the price, it's because you failed to demonstrate the value. Most of my clients, in fact, I would go arrogantly enough to say all of my clients feel as though they're ripping me off. You know, oh my God, I'm paying him, $2,000 a month, or I'm paying him 25 grand a month, or I'm paying him 75 grand a month. God, he could be charging me way more, but he's not. Right. And I've literally had clients going, how do you do this for what you charge me? And those clients I've had for like 12 years. That's why. So always over deliver. So you never get into the value and the loyalty and the retention question.
Talk to me about the fine line between exceeding expectations and going for stupid, because there's got to be, there's a difference. There's the overachieving what you said you're going to do, and then there's the stupid goal that you're able to achieve for them.
Well, I've never tried to go above. I've never tried to just go above. I've always gone for the stupid. You see, here's the thing. Someone says to you, hey, I make $500,000 a year and I want to make $1 million. No, that's a dumb goal. That's not stupid. That's a dumb goal. If you're making $500,000 and you want to push it to make $1 million, double what you're doing, But how about we come up with a stupid goal of 20 mil and fail and make 5 mil a year?
It sounds like you're still exceeding what you were going to.
Exactly. So even that's the beauty about going for stupid goals. You may not achieve them all. Now, here's the dumb thing. When I started my connection business, I was getting people into nightclubs. I was getting them into restaurants. Did I know Elton John? No. Could I close down a museum with a text? Hell no, But then it got to a situation where by constantly going for stupid goals, I started to achieve them. And less I got to know because I was walking into it. Here's a funny thing. Have you ever done any martial arts in your life?
I haven't, but I certainly know many people that have.
All right. I'm a big, ugly lad, okay? In school, this meant that I was prime fodder for the little kid trying to earn his stripes to have a punch-up with me. And every lunch, and it grew in the pub. Every little lad wanted to pick on me because if they beat me up, they were tough. If I beat them up, I was a bully. It was a no-win situation for me.
Right.
So every Friday night in the pub, I was always in a fight. And here's the thing. I wasn't that good. So I went out and I started doing something called Wushu Quan, which was Chinese kickboxing. Okay. And I went out with the simple goal. Everyone goes out to do martial arts for confidence, for meditation, for spirituality. Bullshit. They go out so that they can walk into a bar, beat up the entire bar, and walk out with like a little scar down their cheek, like they've just walked out of a Jackie Chan or Bruce Lee movie. We all want to be able to demolish 30 people in a heartbeat and look like the tough guy. That's why we start to do it. So about a year and a half into me doing kickboxing, I was pretty good at kickboxing. I worked hard at it 3 to 5 times a week for a year and a half. I started competing. I remember this day, I walked into the pub and I'm in this pub and the young lad that would always go around starting the fights started to walk over to me. And I thought, oh, here he goes. He's going to come at me, a couple of blind sides. I'm going to get a smack in the mouth. He's going to look like the hero and I get hurt. Not today. He's got a couple of guys behind him. Right. I stepped off my bench in front of him because I've now got 3 or 4 guys. I'm going to take all 4 of them out. I don't want to be in this fight anymore, but I'm not going to get beaten up anymore. Do you know what happened? What do you think happened when I faced him as him and his buddies were walking towards me? What do you think happened in that situation?
I think that it being the antagonist here, they probably back down quickly, but I don't know the answer. I've never been in a fight. I can't tell you.
They walked around me.
Right. They didn't want to be.
They averted their eyes and they walked around me as though I wasn't there. I wasn't in the pub. You see, here's the situation. And you can translate this into anything within your business. When you know what you're doing to the point that you can solve that situation, the situation doesn't arise.
Yeah, that's very true.
I had got so used to getting a yes by doing some of the miraculous things I was doing that there was almost an air where people would go, well, I can't say no to him. I'm sure just by him being in the room, by him being so ridiculous to even ask that question. And the case in point was when I walked into Florence A client said to me, I want to have an amazing dining experience. I thought, what's the stupidest thing I could do for a dining experience? I know. I'll stick a table of 6 at the feet of Michelangelo's David. I'll shut down an entire museum for an afternoon. Oh, and for shits and giggles, I'll have Andrea Bocelli come in and serenade them while they're eating their pasta.
I didn't read that part, but that's even better.
No, I had, look, a museum's a very quiet place.
Yeah.
So I contacted Andrea Bocelli, and he agreed to come in and serenade my clients while they were eating their main course.
Oh, my gosh.
And here's the dumb thing. I got a yes. I got a yes because I was willing to set a ridiculous goal. I went for stupid. And I was so used to doing it, it happened.
Steve, share some of the famously stupid goals in history, because I know that part of what you have in your book, and I can't wait to get a copy of the book when it comes out, by the way, Nice Guy Community. By the time this airs, the book will have now been published, so there's going to be a link in the show notes for you to click it. As of the recording of this, I don't even have a copy of the book. When Steve's assistant reached out to me, I'm like, hell yeah, Steve wants to be on the show. He's rubbed elbows with some pretty significant people, including himself. He's very significant. Does that mean you've rubbed yourself a couple of times?
I rubbed my own shoulders. That sounds a little bit weird.
It does sound a little weird.
Fetish.
So share some of the famously stupid goals that have been achieved through history, Steve.
Can I answer that question by giving you the catalyst of why I did this?
Yeah, absolutely. I'd love to know.
I got pissed off with COVID. And COVID came along. And I remember I went to a Mexican meal here in Los Angeles. And it was shit. I was trying a new restaurant. And I got home and the news reports were, COVID's here. Tomorrow, we're in lockdown. No more restaurants, no more bars. You can't go out. And I thought to myself, crap, my last meal for 3 months or 6 months, because we all thought it'd be very short, didn't we?
Right.
And I thought my last meal was in a shitty Mexican restaurant, and it was annoying. But then all of a sudden, I didn't have to fly. I didn't have to drive anywhere. My people that I wanted to communicate were all at home, so I could communicate with anyone really easily because you weren't going on holiday.
Right.
You weren't going anywhere. So it was a time when all of a sudden I was given a 9-day week. I was given the thing that I couldn't purchase, more time.
Mm-hmm.
But then what happened? We all started yelling at each other. And the first thing I noticed was that the Facebook feeds and the social feeds were all kind of like, hey, what shall I binge watch on Netflix?
Mm-hmm.
And I thought to myself, hang on a minute, you've been given all of this extra time, a thing that nobody can purchase, and that's your ambition to do with it? And this kind of bothered me. So I suddenly started working with people that didn't have that as the agenda. And we started doing really good business. It really started growing. But then all of a sudden, I started seeing something which was the worst thing ever to come out. It's a cancerous, toxic thing that was suddenly born in the early stages of COVID. Now, we're in a situation where the entire planet, for the first time in history, is sharing the exact same emotion and situation.
Mm-hmm.
In the world wars, the world war has never actually included the entire world.
Right.
So this was a situation where you could pick up the phone and dial any country, New Zealand, Korea, Pakistan, America, China, and say, hey, how's COVID treating you? And we've all got a story on COVID.
Mm-hmm.
But at the birth of COVID, what suddenly erupted? The cancel culture.
Mm-hmm.
And the gotcha society. Oh, did you see that guy? In 1983, he dressed up as a penguin. How disrespectful to penguins. Let's cancel his career. How many times did we see this?
A lot. A lot.
And the gotcha society, I'm going to ridicule you. Now, let me ask you this. I'll pick on you, Doug. Do you have a truck?
I have an SUV. Is that considered a truck? I guess it would be.
It's not.
Okay, but no. So then no, I do not have a truck.
Then I'll ask you another question. You'll understand why I'm being so direct. Would you swap your SUV for a truck?
Probably not. I like my SUV.
All right. So would it be fair to say that you have no consideration or enticement or even interest in a truck at the moment?
That is correct.
Did you watch Elon Musk's unveiling of his Cybertruck?
I did not, no.
You didn't. I think that every time I've used that example, there's never been anybody that didn't see the Cybertruck unveiled.
So, sorry, I stay in a very short, small bubble. I'm a horrible example to use. But continue your story.
No, I'm going to continue because I still think I've got the good thing. I think I've still got the outcome out of it.
Got it.
Were you aware that he unveiled a truck?
Yes, I was aware that he unveiled a truck.
Have you seen the designs of the truck?
It looked like, if I remember correctly, a pyramid or a triangle, didn't it? Or something like that?
Yeah, it looked like something out of a weird Mad Max movie, didn't it?
Right.
So you didn't watch the streaming, but you were fully aware that he unveiled a truck?
Yes, totally.
Okay. Did you see the news release the following day after the Cybertruck? And did you remember the headlines of what happened?
Didn't they joke about it because it was such a horrible design or looked like a horrible design? I don't recall though. So again, I hope I'm not botching anything you got set up here.
No. This is why I'm happy to use it in real time. Do you remember everything about a rock going through a bulletproof glass?
No, tell me about that.
He did a live stream.
Yeah.
That the entire planet watched. I did a podcast the other day with a girl from Korea, young girl, and I said to her, do you have a truck? No. Do you want a truck? No. She said, I'm in Korea. I have a bicycle. I said, did you see the live stream? She said, yes. So it reached all over the planet. He sold out all of his pre-orders before the end of a 2-hour live stream.
Wow.
Now, think about it. He reinvented the truck. As you've said, it looked like a weird pyramid-y thing.
Right.
Okay. How would you like to be able to sell out of your product before you even started manufacturing it, just from a 2-hour feed? Yeah,
that would be great. Is that down the same philosophy as there's no such thing as bad press?
Well, at the time, he hadn't even got to this. But how would you also like to do a launch of a product or service that even got the eyeballs, attention of people that have no interest in your product?
Oh, yeah.
That are aware of it.
Absolutely. I'm tired of being the world's best kept secret.
However, the following day, the world didn't revere him for launching a unknown truck. It didn't revere him for selling out all of his orders before he even built the conveyor belt. It mocked him because his bulletproof glass, when they demonstrated it on stage, was smashed by someone throwing a rock at it. My point is, in today's society, we like to laugh at people before we applaud them.
Yeah.
The President Biden, walked up onto the helicopter and he tripped up at his step.
Yeah.
I don't know where the helicopter was going. I don't know what the conversations he was having before.
Yeah.
But for about 24 hours, all I saw was boomerang videos and memes of the guy tripping on a step into a helicopter.
Yeah, we feel so much better as a society, as a world, ridiculing people's faults and their shortcomings than we do with applauding their positive moments.
And that was it. That was the thing that pissed me off. All of a sudden, as a society, we're sitting there whining that we can't communicate with people. We can't get out. We can't get down to the pub with our mates. We can't go to the gym. It really made me laugh. These people going, I can't get to the gym. When I'm looking at them going, your fat ass was never going to a gym before COVID. And now you're using it as an excuse.
Yeah.
In the worst situation that we've ever been in, where we can't get together with people, we decide to attack them, pull them down, cancel them, laugh at them. And this pissed me off. And it got me thinking, that's the wrong society. Today, we should applaud anyone for trying, not ridiculing them for failing, not giggling. We should be better human beings. I started going through, and this is the long-winded answer to your question, I started looking through history, and I don't know what set me off. I think it was Elon that set me off on it, being laughed at by NASA. Did you know that the light bulb, there was actually a group of people that actually attacked the light bulb saying, hey, It's unsafe. Get this. It's not as safe as our candles. Okay? The Great Fire of London was not initiated by a fucking light bulb.
Right.
It's the candles. So it annoyed me. Henry Ford was actually protested, and they protested the development of the car, and the excuse they gave was, my horse can go through the woods, the car can't. You know, that was the reason behind them trying to block it. They tried to block coffee. I went through history on all of some of the things that today we couldn't live without.
Yep.
That the naysayers tried to kill. And then I realized, as humanity grows, we don't actually like change. We actually like to block it. We like to ridicule it. Someone has a good idea. And this even comes down to you. And again, I'll pick on you as an example. Have you ever had a conversation around a coffee table, around a dinner table, in a bar, and you've suddenly started talking about your ideas, maybe when you were younger, and you've suddenly gone, oh, and then I'd like to do this, and maybe that, and that. And your friends all of a sudden glaze over like you're an idiot.
Of course, that is a typical evening conversation in my house, is the stuff that I was going to achieve when I was younger, and sometimes that tamps down your feeling that you can accomplish anything. I mean, my dad used to say to me, and again, it's probably I think it's a Gretzky quote. Yeah, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. You know,
Yeah,
it's like it's like, hey, why don't you take this shot? My dad was a big proponent of, hey, if anybody can do it, you can do it. And then he would correct himself and say, hey, Dougie, even if no one can do it, you can achieve it. And so for me, those dinner time conversations where somebody might laugh at a goal that I wanted to try to achieve. I mean, podcasting is one of those things. I mean, 7 years ago when we started this show, we had no idea that this was going to become the juggernaut that it became. Yeah. This is the tip of the spear for us when it comes to our business development. So for us, it's like all of these things. I guess we as a society are so held back by other people for fear of what they think about us. I mean, I think that that's ridiculous. I want to do stuff that I want to do because it makes me feel good, not because you don't feel good with me achieving or you're happy because I fail. Fuck that. I'd rather, you know, I'm going to beat to my own drum, which is, again, part of the fascination that I have with your, you know, with not only your book, but your business model of being able to do stupid things. I mean, I love that. I love that. Going for stupid or go for stupid is absolutely the agenda. I mean, it's been that tagline of everything that I have ever accomplished because I've wanted to accomplish it.
Well, you were lucky because you had your dad.
Yeah.
In my house, my mum would laugh at me every time I wanted to try anything. Now, sadly, when I started going on my journey, I lost touch with my mum and I've never spoken to her since. Mm. And there's a lot of people that are literally going down to the pub tonight. They're going to talk about an idea that they've got for business and the table is going to laugh at them. Yeah. And what are they going to do? Are they going to stand up to those people and go, hang on a minute, I can achieve it? Or are they going to dilute their dreams and they're going to go, oh, I don't know what I was thinking. Something must have, you know, been in my drink and spiked my coffee. I was having a crazy moment. I'm back now. Don't worry. All right.
But so tell me then, because there are many people in my community that will benefit from this answer because many of them have had either the upbringing where they've had a parent that have poo-pooed everything that they've wanted, or they have mates that say, that ridicule them, not even to their face, but maybe behind their back, or maybe they just kind of gently prod at them, which is just as bad. Who were your mentors? Who were the people that guided you when all of this negativity and you know, naysaying was going on in your past?
My gut.
Okay. All right.
Truthfully, at the time, I was led by aggravation. See, a lot of people are scared of fear. A lot of people are terrified of those people laughing at them.
Agreed.
Okay. We're all fearful of things. What I was fearful of was being in the exact same place that I was then, 2 or 3 years later.
Exactly.
You know, so for me, I was aggravated. I would see all these people laughing at me, or just giving me the glance, or just going, you know, you're being silly, Steve. And I would realize, hang on a minute, I'm trying to fit in when I wasn't built to.
Right.
As entrepreneurs, how often do you get in a room full of entrepreneurs? And we're like mad scientists, aren't we?
Yeah, it is amazing, and it's horrible at the same time, because you walk out of that room with so many freaking ideas. Yeah, I'm not short of ideas. I'm short of time to implement the ideas that I come up with when I'm in that room of people.
It's like we've gone to Hogwarts and suddenly realized that we're normal. It's everyone else that's not.
Yeah.
We need to focus on our goals and dreams and aspirations, and we need to dare to achieve them. You see, the dumb thing is, the world is driven by 15% of the planet. The 85% of the planet work for those 15%. But those 15 have to stand out by standing up. And it's our duty to stand up. It's daft. The guy that's laughing at you that you can't achieve anything is the person that's delivering you your McDonald's as you drive past the window in the morning. You've got to get it into order of what it's worth. Now, if the room's bad, first lesson of development, change the room you're in. Now, when I would sit there as a broke-ass biker in my East London pub with a bunch of other bikers and would look around and go, well, these are all broke-ass bikers. I am a cog of this machine. I've got to change my room. It's one of the toughest things you've got to do. Now, the beautiful thing is today, we've got podcasts, we've got services, we've got bloody books, we've got a ton of different things that people can consume to help change themselves and to make them realize, hey, I'm not the strange one here. Everyone else is. And as strange as I am, I'm good strange.
The book is called Go for Stupid: The Art of Achieving Ridiculous Goals. Steve, he is definitely a dream maker, a dream builder, and he can help you achieve your dreams too. It all starts with Go for Stupid: The Art of Achieving Ridiculous Goals. We'll make sure we put a link in the show notes for that. I know we're a little bit over time, and I appreciate you spending the extra few minutes with me, Steve. I know it always goes by so quickly. It seems like 4.5 years went by like a snap of our fingers there. I'm curious, as our final question, what is on your bucket list? Do you have a bucket list? You seem to be able to achieve anything that you set your mind to.
This is a tough one, and it may sound a little bit like woo-woo, but I am tired of the way that we treat each other. And I think we need to start challenging each other, and I think we need to support each other, and I think we need to stop tearing people down. It seems to be an ambition today for people to find something and to tear people off a pedestal. Why don't we start supporting each other for the good and actually have what we've done refine us, not define us? And that's my goal.
Oh, that's an amazing goal, and one to definitely set as our attainable goal for the future. Steve, I didn't realize that you were in Los Angeles. I'm in a small town just north of Los Angeles called Ojai, south of Santa Barbara, north of Los Angeles. OJAI, a very earthy, crunchy town.
I know Ojai. I dive up there loads of times on the bike. You've got some great little stores up there for the Sunday brunch.
Definitely have Sunday brunch available. I was going to say to you, if ever you need free labor to come and fulfill one of the dreams of your clients, if you're still in the dream fulfilling business, I would be happy to drive down to Los Angeles. Keep me on your short list. It's not about the money; it's about the experience. I really want to enjoy something like that. That sounds like a lot of fun. Thanks for being on the show today.
Thanks for having me.
Hey, Nice Guy community, never underestimate the power of nice or the power of go for stupid, and you should. The Art of Achieving Ridiculous Goals. Special thanks to our guest, Steve Sims. All of his information will be right there in the show notes. Steve O'Brien, go ahead and take us out of here.
For the Nice Guys on Business, I'm Steve O'Brien. Thanks for listening. Bartender, Doug here's going to have a Cosmo, and Strickland is going to have a Fireball on the rocks. Not the little glass. Yeah, the big one, the 24-ouncer. Oh, and they'd both like a little umbrella. Just give me the bottle and charge them as much as you can.